Welcome to my 9x6 Fortress of Solitude, where I've got everything I need right here. And I'll show you. I've got a boogie board right there. That thing's pretty sweet. I do like a lot of knee boarding and whatnot, and I ride some pretty crazy pipe on it. Not really a big deal or anything, but I get pretty sick on it. I've got an RC car that my mom bought me for Christmas. I did ask for it. I think I was 22 at the time. It is a sick RC car, so I don't really have any shame on that. I also have a poster of a really hot lady, and she happens to be my girlfriend, and my caretaker. So hell yeah. Right here, you are looking at a KX85. This is a marketplace deal gone bad. I've talked to the guy who owns this quite a bit. It is actually a bummer of a story. He's a single father, busts his ass working. His kiddo's kind of just getting into riding dirt bikes now, and I got connected with them through Risk Racing and the video series I'm doing over there, where we're taking in somebody's bike, rebuilding it for somebody who otherwise couldn't get back to riding without a little bit of help, whether that be because they couldn't afford to do it, didn't have the time, or just the means. It is probably the toughest time in the industry to get out and enjoy riding your motorcycles with your family, with your kiddos. And I saw the need for this, and I'm really happy to be doing it. I don't want to ramble on and preach. We're here to have fun, and I am actually really stoked to tear into this bike. It is a pretty sweet rig. He said he bought it for $1,700. And even if the engine's blown up, Wiseco is actually very kind and gave us a good deal on a full Garage Buddy engine rebuild kit. So shout out Wiseco. Thanks for the help as always. They've always been very gracious to me, and I've always found that their stuff is really high quality. Enough yammering on. We'll start turning wrenches. That's what I'm here to do. Spoiler alert, you're not really going to see any fancy power tools used until we get to the engine. I will use an impact when it comes to that. But I don't have a nice 1/4-inch impact or anything to zip these things off. We're a budget mechanic, if you will. Down south they call them, yeah, I'm one of them hubba bubba shade tree mechanics. I'm just a step above that. Just a step. So we're just going to be going slow and steady with this unit, and using my third hand a lot. I keep so many bolts in my mouth. I always wonder, what variety of cancers am I giving myself? Yet to be determined. I will say this project honestly means a little bit more to me than just rebuilding a dirt bike. Because a little backstory on me: I moved from Vermont to North Carolina to work for Risk Racing straight out of college with $1,200 to my name, and that quickly disappeared. Lived in the bed of my truck for 10 months through a North Carolina winter, which you think is pretty mild until you're in a truck bed topper, I've got a steel construction one. But yeah, it wasn't super ideal, but I was really preaching to everybody how sick it was. But what that experience did teach me was how to do a lot of things for myself, like tear engines apart and rebuild everything on my own, because obviously I couldn't afford to pay anybody to do that work. and I had a little bit too much pride to ask anybody for help. And that is a fatal flaw that still plagues me today. Right this very moment, actually. Things are a little hectic because I'm doing this in my shed right now, and I'm also doing the very same project on a 2014 KTM 300 SX back at the Risk facility. But you know what they say, idle hands are the devil's minions or something. But yeah, I can tell you my hands do something a little different when they're idle. Beat City! But yeah, I guess through that I just kind of learned the value of $1 and how much it really means to ride dirt bikes and race, and especially coming from my background where I traveled all around New England and honestly, frankly, the country racing mountain bikes and snowboards with my mom and dad, brother, sister, and I never really comprehended how much my parents invested into what me and my siblings were doing. But now, as an adult, paying my own way in life, I have a new appreciation for what they had to do to make that all happen for us, and I have an appreciation for what every parent does to buy their kids things like this, and I have a soft spot in my heart for when people are struggling to make it happen. And now that I have some knowledge and skills developed from the struggles that I've been through over the past couple of years, and I wouldn't even call them struggles, I've had a great time living a young man's dream, traveling around, racing, riding, and meeting friends and a whole community of really good people. I'm not gonna stay on task here. But yeah, I just really enjoyed doing some good, and this means a little bit more than just a dirt bike rebuild. It's hopefully a father and son having some really cool moments, all because dirt bikes bring you cool places, man. And hopefully this is a cool adventure for the father and son that hopefully they'll be racing this bike around the Carolinas. I don't know a ton about this bike though. Like, I don't know how many hours are on it. I think a fair many, because it's probably all OEM stuff, but like linkage bearings are blown out. Actually, I don't even know if that rear wheel bearing is bad or if that linkage bearing is just so bad it feels like a wheel bearing. Front wheel bearings are bad. Completely wore to the metal on the pads. So I think this bike definitely has some riding time on it, and just general overview, I'll bring you guys in. We'll take the motor out and I'll show you everything, but like there's like silicone like squeezing out from where the cases come together, so I don't know if somebody did just like a really terrible rebuild on this thing and then threw it up on the old marketplace with a little scam in a can, shined her up. But either way, $700 for this bike with all the parts that it has on it is still a pretty good deal. And I think we can actually still salvage it as a good deal, especially with the help that we got from Wiseco. If we can rebuild this thing with all the parts that came in that kit, we're in pretty good shape, and then just maybe add some brake pads and linkage bearings, and this thing could be mint. So fingers crossed, and regardless, we're gonna find a way to make this bike mint for these guys. I don't know how long I'm gonna have this bike apart, and I also am kind of struggling to keep everything straight in my head right now because I've got a bike torn apart at the Risk facility, as I said, and working on tearing one apart here. So you'll see me kind of just threading these bolts back in just so I can kind of remember where everything is, because I can't even distinguish my right shoe from my left right now. Prime time. What else do we have? Welcome back to the regularly scheduled programming. Engine's coming out. This bike's pretty easy to work on, I will say that. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it out with the jug on or not, but don't know till you try. Oh shit, well, I can't know that was easy. Alright, I'm hung up on the stator wire here, which I should have seen coming. But I'll just disconnect it for now. Okay, round two. Feed the wiring back through there. Oh, 2 meters. Freedom. Freedom at last. Ah. All right. Here we are. All this stuff is just hand tight on here right now, because as I said, the guy who owns this bike did have the jug off and realized that it was a bigger issue, and I'm not seeing any crush washers underneath these, which is, those are supposed to be there. Anyhow, we can obtain crush washers, and he said that he bought a new head for the jug, because it sounds like something broke off in there, and as you can see, was bouncing around all up in there, which damage isn't terrible, but sounds like he got a good deal on a different one. Very interesting. I don't know if he cleaned this piston or if this was like a brand new top end and somebody just did like a really poor rebuild. And here was the silicone that I was telling you about, and it honestly, oh my god, I don't know that there is a gasket in there. I think somebody tried to make a silicone gasket. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. Who has been working on this thing? Obviously not the guy who owns it right now, whoever he bought it from. If they tried to make a silicone gasket to keep these cases from leaking, I'd like to share some words with him. God, I'd like a piece of that guy. I'd like a piece of him, I tell you. I'd go a couple rounds with him, you know? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was doing. Alright, I have decided, before I fully take everything apart, I am going to, I'm going to wash everything. I'm going to wash the motor, I'm going to scrub it down with a Brillo pad, get this aluminum shining, and then it's going to make it a lot easier for me when it comes to tearing this thing apart and not having to worry about, not having to do secondary cleaning processes, processes? The plural of process, multiple processes, cleaning this thing up. But first, I'm going to go slam a steak. What time is it? 9 o'clock. Okay, before I go in for dinner, I just noticed something. This power valve cover right here, you can see this bolt is gonzo. Hopefully I can just get this thing spinning with a chisel and a hammer, because I do not have my easy out kit here with me. That sure would be swell, but I don't foresee myself being that lucky. I'm just gonna try to make my groove a bit bigger here, make it at a better angle, and actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, it doesn't seem like that's gonna be a friend to me. And that just is what it is. I'm gonna get some dinner in me so I can think clearly and objectively about this. Alright, the GoPro died and I lied. I couldn't go eat dinner until I got this bolt out. It's just can't do it. I couldn't possibly until this bolt comes out. So now I'm hitting this fucking thing in with a torch or with a hammer, and yeah, we're getting down to the brass tacks now. And obviously, I stopped asking a long time ago. So now, all right, let me put you down. I need 2 hands. Call me Daddy 2 Hands. That's that shit right there, baby. I just ate an all meat dinner because I'm a big dog. You know, I was talking to the old lady in there. She had some sort of watermelon beverage, and this could be a hot take, but I think anything that's watermelon flavored, that's not watermelon, can just get banned, pal. Honestly, it just. And I know what you're gonna bring up the little sour Patch Kid candies that are the watermelon shaped, but you and me both know that's not even. They don't taste like watermelon. It's just a pleasant blend of chemicals. It's not water. It doesn't necessarily taste like watermelon. They look like watermelon, so there's some sort of placebo effect in your brain that's telling you, this watermelon. Anything else like watermelon juice flavored. Or candy, all of it can just send me to the moon thinking about these things that are watermelon flavored. They don't taste like watermelon. Curious to see what this is gonna look like when we split the cases. Because if somebody truly just siliconed these cases together, I'm gonna huff and puff and blow their house down, followed by putting my most mentally handicapped, learning disabled friend onto this guy's wife, because that is apparently the type of people that she's into. If this is his work, and no disrespect to that guy, but bust out the chrome polish, because me and my dogs are on your bumper, dude. On your bumper, dude. Alright. It's late. It's 10 o'clock. My goal right now is I want to clean up this engine. I'm going to just start going dummy. With a Brillo pad, I'm going to shine all this up, and while I'm at it, I might as well start cleaning some of this stuff up so we can just start fresh tomorrow. Start tearing into this engine for real. Break everything apart, and yeah, you know what? Let's not set a plan. Let's just cue the music. Hello, ladies and germs. I have updates. I've gotten carried away with the cleaning. There came a point today where I got a text for the guy that I'm doing this for, and it became very obvious to me how much him and his son appreciated me doing this, and it just flipped a switch in me where it was right in that moment I decided that I'm gonna make this the cleanest 85 at the track anywhere around. I have been going absolutely crazy. I was partially inspired by how clean this motor came out, I mean, it just looks super nasty. So I ended up just going crazy on everything else. I probably spent 2 hours alone just on polishing this pipe. I brought it down. I've been going crazy with the cheek poker on the angle grinder, which is, you probably seen a little war wound there, but that's why they call it the cheek poker. And Dad always said anything that you did right, you probably end up bleeding throughout the process. But I've been going through and polishing every single little bolt and piece of hardware. And then I went through and I also did up the cylinder, got that all cleaned. I also honed it, and it's actually looking really good. And I checked it out, and the cylinder's still in spec, and so I'm happy with that. See if you can get a good look down in there and what that cylinder's looking like now. I got a nice cross hatch in there. I washed all up, ran hot water, soapy water through there and whatnot, and I got a light coat of oil in there now because it's going to be sitting for a little while we tear into the bottom end, which I'm going to start right now, but this is going to be where this video ends, and I'm going to start tearing on the bottom end, and that'll be another video. But I am really excited how this is all coming together, and I can't wait to have this all back together, because it is going to look so clean. I mean, it's already a pretty nice bike, but once we polish everything up, I'm going to take the whole swing arm apart. I'm going to take these forks off. We're going full race prep now. We're greasing everything, swapping out anything that's got some play in it, and we're gonna make this thing pretty sweet for them, and I'm pumped on that. Thanks for watching, and definitely tune in to tearing apart the bottom end, because we're gonna see some destruction in there. I'm already seeing a lot of rod bearing material, a lot of metal, and I think we're gonna see some carnage in there, and that's gonna be it's a little scary, but I think it's gonna be a fun process. So stick with us, and we'll see you in the next one.